Hey coaches, in this 1%er, we're going to break down some film on the second cut. A lot of times we think about maybe running a play to get a backdoor pass or an opportunity to come off a cut and get a shot, but we're going to talk about the value of the second cut. Many times if we keep a team cutting, so the first cutter might just be to clear, but oftentimes the second cutter is in help defense, and we could take advantage of that second cutter and their momentum coming up. There's a lot of different places the second cut from. You can do it when a player is denied. You can use the momentum of the defender against them, but I'm going to break down some film of some good opportunities and some good looks at an actual second cutter getting an opportunity at a basket. Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about the second cut. Now, I just want to be clear, the second cut means a lot of different things to us. So the cut could be to go offensive rebound. The cut could be to clear space, or the cut could be a back-to-back cut. But we always want to send a second cutter in a multitude of different ways. So I'm going to break those down. Right here, you're going to see the ball get entered to the high post right here. And we look one direction, and it comes in the high post, and we get that first cutter that goes through. We don't get anything. Then we get the other side on the second cutter right there. This really puts a lot of pressure on the defense when you have a good cutting team. The last 2 years, we put a lot of emphasis on that. We're not there, but we're getting there. And it's going to identify some of these cuts. So that first cut was kind of a space cut. This next one, we went back door, didn't get anything off of it right here. We went backdoor on that one, didn't get anything, but we keep the defense moving, which creates opportunities. There's a cut, and right off the tail of that cutter comes a second cutter, and you can see the spacing as the defense is filling over. You get a good look at a cut right there. This is a different action, kind of a mid-post action where we screen. We get like a curl cut, and then we follow it up with a back cut. And again, another wide open look, because just good cutting action with that first cut getting clear. And that's a really important thing, is that first cut's got to get clear. All right, I would say this is the first and second cut right here. We consider attacking the offensive rebounded cut. Anytime you can cut, put the pressure on the defense to get inside there, and they've got to be inside out, you're going to get some good things. So the first two cuts are these crashes to the rim, which creates this follow-up cut, which is as soon as we get the offensive rebound, we're attacking the rim with another cut. And you see three people in the paint right there, which could say is crowded, but what do we get out of it? A point-blank layup. I often don't think you can cut enough, and there's just a lot of different ways to get the cuts. All right, take a look at some more right here. So there's the first cut to clear the side. So we cut to clear the side to get to the post. Then we get a cut at the rim. And then we get a third cut coming in, which gets the layup. So we count all those as cuts for our guys. A cut to clear, a cut to space, a cut to score. And so there's just a lot of different movement on the defense. And again, I don't think you can cut enough. Take a look at some of these. So that first cut, a little bit weak, but then what came on the second one? So I'm paused right there. When the ball started to come in the other direction, that first player was clear enough to get this backdoor layup right here on the second cut. All right, take a look at a couple more right here. So don't cut well. We like to cut almost every single time that we pass right there. There's a turn down cut right there on that first one. And then we get the post feed down here, and we get a cutter on the backside of the rim. We even have another cutter coming in. So you see there's three good cuts on that possession right there that create the layup. Either one of those two guys could have scored. Another team I love watching, and I think that Ferman does a great job of cutting, so I cut some film on there. So there's a back cut on that first one. There's a slip cut on the second one right there. That first cutter cleared, which made it easy for the second cutter to get a good look and a clear passing lane. Here's another one of first you get that cross cut right there. Then you're going to get, because he's got out of there quickly, the second one that came through was right off that ball screen, and you get the back cut. Flagler does a great job of this well. Chad's a good friend of mine. They're one of the best at doing it. And watch right here. So a passing cut. I like that. So there's a cut on the weak side, then the pass, the give and go cut right there. Here's another look. You take a look at against the zone. There's the first cutter through, then the second cutter follows it back up on the flash cut, and then a third cutter from the backside. So again, I don't think you can ever cut enough, but you just see the cutting action in all these different angles from different players in different ways, and having a great cutting team puts a lot of pressure on the defense. So that first cut clear, and the second cut goes back and gets the back door right there. Don't think you can ever cut enough. You just got to cut hard to clear, and more often than not, that second cut's going to be your best one. All right, coaches, hopefully you saw some value in that in the second cutter. And many times the first cutter is just to clear out, to get out of the way, to create room for the second cutter. But it is really, really important that first cutter clears quickly, because you want a really good, clean look for the second cutter. And a lot of times if the first cutter's not getting a basket, sometimes like, well, I'm not going to get anything, and they're slow to get out. But oftentimes you saw there where the cutter got out and made a much cleaner read for the passer and the cutter on the second read. Hope that helps you and your team.